Near the end of the last set, I put together Spike and I had a few ideas behind the list. I wanted to play all of these water cards that unflipped things, like Falling Heel Strike, Invisible Infiltration, and Fallen Angel's Revenge. So I wanted to play like 10 of those cards that unflip things and have all of this water defense and then unflip the defense that I need, but also have a stage that when I'm ready to go in for a lethal attack string, I can just flip it all in one go, because Spike is this mid-range type character. He's not going to be blowing you up early. He really needs to get to that plus 3/3 moment. He typically wants to have a full stage of like 10, 12 foundations. Spike is this like mid-range type character. He needs to stay alive for 3 or 4 turns to truly get the stats off. He has card draw on face, which is something the water symbol typically has kind of lacked. Water is really good at defense. We get a lot of solid flip effects. We can unflip them and just continue to stay alive. And then when we're ready, we can flip our stage. This past deck had like Tongue Whip and Amphibious Ambush and 3 Sticky Balls. So the idea was like, you play Tongue Whip, you stuff their card pool, you flip Sticky Balls. Then you play a Falling Heel Strike, you unflip Sticky Balls, you flip Sticky Balls. Now you're adding 3/3 onto your attacks and they have 3 cards in their card pool. They can't block. And you win the game through that way. So it was this mid-range deck where we were also playing this card pool clog and this unflip. I never played it. I just kind of put it together. And then somebody commented on one of my YouTube videos a few weeks ago saying, hey man, I loved your water spike list. I copied it. I took it to locals and I won my local championship. I went undefeated and it just dominated everybody. And that got me thinking. It was like, that was interesting. I just made that as a thought experiment, but it ended up doing well for somebody, and I never played it. So the other day I decided to go and make some updates for Yu Yu Hakusho. Of course, this is quite different because we don't get Tongue Whip, Amphibious Ambush, Sticky Balls. So we're not doing that whole card pool clog strategy, but I think he got a lot better with Yu Yu Hakusho cards, namely Referee Jury. And so the main reason that I decided to start playing this deck yesterday is because I opened 4 Referee Jury. And I think that this action is better than Barrier Shield. I think it might be like the best action in the game. It Barrier Shield costs you 2 cards in hand. You're going to play it, reduce the speed to 0, and then you're going to have to play something as the block, and then say Breaker 2. Jury is basically a Breaker 1 that they can't really play around, and it doesn't cost you a card in hand because it replaces itself. So Barrier Shield costs you 2 cards, Referee Jury costs you 0 cards. I think it's better than Barrier Shield, might be the best action in the game. Wanted to play a deck that could really take advantage of running 4 of this. Spike seemed perfect because we can play it. We can say take the damage down to 4, and then we can take it and use Spike to then draw a card on defense. We're drawing a card off Referee Jury. Now we just drew 2 cards. We're ready to go. This deck feels really, really balanced. We have a lot of speed hate with Ice Gliding, Surviving the Final, Fast Friendship. We can unflip Fast Friendship with our attacks that unflip things. We have a lot of damage control. We have 10 resets of some kind, 2 Idun Box, 4 Referee Jury, Weapon Clash, Beneath the Armor, Broken Psyche, Desperate Struggle. We have tons and tons of resets so that the younger Togyuros can't really fight through that. And then the biggest combo that this deck gets on the water symbol is Referee Jury with Struggling with Studies. We're going to play it, and then we're going to pick it back up, and we're going to play it again. And this just annihilates people. Referee Jury is such a great card. Like, it forces someone to overcommit because they don't know what's in your hand. And so they'll overextend into an attack. You'll play Referee Jury, and now that attack is no longer lethal. And then also you're going to use this bottom response, and you're going to force them to commit one. So not only did they overextend themselves, but now they've hurt themselves even worse in their overextension. And Spike is one of the best players to punish that overextension because he's then going to say, I'm getting plus 3/3, I'm getting plus 4/4 on the backswing. We get all this stuff to unflip things so that we can use like Broken Psyche again. We can use Struggling with Studies again, Fast Friendship again, so we can unflip our defensive pieces. When we're ready to really go in, We can even like use leaving the beat bot, go grab an attack, unflip it, go grab another attack. Or we can use it for like weapon clash or weightless, like unflip weightless, flip weightless, ready a face down, unflip it, do it again. Or we could do like weapon clash. This is just crazy in Spike. This combined with referee jury. We're going to say more damage reduction, and then we can flip and build the top card of our deck face down, committed, which is going to help us with Spike. And a lot of times that just says flip, build it, ready, because if you flip weapon clash, build it, committed, you're going to flip weightless and you're going to ready it. And now you got another face down for Spike. We can unflip it with falling heel strike, just do it again. Same thing with like failed role model, we can flip seal. Struggling with studies, we can flip since it's enhanced and just do nothing. Basically, you can have 2 face down foundations and then on your very first attack, flip 6 things. And now you're saying, all right, +3/+3. And this deck just plays such good defense. You get all this damage reduction to where you're only taking like 2 to 4 damage from your hits. You're drawing from it. There's a lot of balance here. The one thing that kind of worries me is playing long games against people who aren't afraid to go into deadlock. I don't have a lot of ways to punish deadlock here. You do have to win on that turn that you flip your entire stage. If you don't win on that turn, it's going to be looking really, really poor for you from there on out in the game. Instead of doing this like tongue whip amphibious ambush strategy, I started doing this falling skies. This is nice early because it's a throw. It's going to guarantee us damage, guarantee us a draw. And it's nice late in the game because it's our biggest move. Battle Aura release is also huge. It's going to be 8 damage, and then we're going to add 3/3. It's going to be like a 7 high 11. Ice Sword execution to commit down all other things. I was playing a game 2 nights ago, and I said, yeah, I'll name learning the standards. You know how good it feels to get rid of both or learning the standards on your first attack. And then, yeah, Invisible Infiltration, Falling Heel Strike, Fallen Angel's Revenge, all this stuff to unflip our stage. And that is the deck. Just a lot of balance between damage reduction and speed reduction. And then whenever we're ready, our character just gives 6 stats per attack or 8 stats per attack. Once you start giving 4/4 on everything and you play a string of 6 attacks, and pretty soon they can't block and you're drawing on every attack, so you're just finding even more gas, that feels really nice. He's one of the best Faith Shield characters. And Faith Shield's really strong right now, especially against like younger Toguro, because you can say, hey, this goes first before your younger Toguro response, and I'm going to flip it and force you to sort of play on progressive. So now this poke attack that you thought was just going to build you a foundation no longer does that, and you're going to have to extend a little more in order to get that response off. We can sideboard into some more. I was thinking like Drowning. This is just a very theoretical sideboard here. I was thinking like this, maybe against Kurama. Drowning in Resentment because so many characters are doing things from their discard pile. Quick response in case I did need some deadlock pressure, or I am playing a lot of highs. So I could see myself putting quick response in the main board later. Icy Blade if they're playing like repeated 100% smash. That is the deck. Let's give it a test run. I'm going to jump in with Barlow and play around.